In addition, Dodd-Frank required that the Fed disclose information about the entities that used the discount window, or under, I believe it was Section 13.3, lending facilities. But in addition to what we required in Dodd-Frank, the Federal Reserve is also already subject to robust congressional oversight. And I'd like to ask our two witnesses, can you give the committee some examples of the types of congressional oversight that you are already required to do, even before Dodd-Frank?
The two of the most important types of oversight are the chairman of the Federal Reserve, the chairman of the FOMC, provides testimony on the economy twice each year on the call of the House and the Senate. And that is an important check on our monetary policy and the state of the economy. Another important method is this hearing and hearings like this that we're going through. The staff and the governors and the chairman of the Federal Reserve, the presidents of the Reserve Bank have often been called to Congress to report on every aspect of our duties and how we implement various policies. And we you use those as oversight to us, and we explain the positions that we've taken. So I think it's the interaction between the Congress and the Federal Reserve in testimonies in particular that have been an effective form of oversight.
Okay, my time is about to expire, but as you know, there's a GAO audit authority now. Was there anything that is excluded from the GAO audit authority?
So the GAO is authorized to audit a full range of the Federal Reserve's responsibilities. That includes all of the emergency transactions, the discount window, our supervisory authority, our consumer authority, all the various aspects of authority. An area that Congress has reserved to the Federal Reserve is the implementation of monetary policy, the actual policy-making decision process. The GAO does look at how we implement the policy in the form of making sure the transactions actually occur as appropriate, that they're accounted for properly on the balance sheet, that they're fully disclosed. But the decision-making process for monetary policy is the one thing outside the GAO's scope of authority.
Mr. Chairman, may I follow up with one brief question on why that? What are the arguments for excluding it? Why was that excluded? What is the arguments for it? Mr. Alvarez?
So the importance of allowing the Federal Reserve and the FOMC to conduct monetary policy independently has been demonstrated throughout the world in both actions by other central banks and in a variety of studies of monetary policy. The point, I think, is that the Congress wanted to reserve to the FOMC the ability to have discussions that are full and free and frank, and to explore all the possible alternatives for monetary policy to reach the best monetary policy decision. Moreover, if GAO doesn't do audits in the sense of a technical audit like a financial auditor might do, but does performance reviews and policy reviews. So that would mean that the GAO would review the alternatives considered for monetary policy, how the decisions were made, whether the decisions were actually appropriate. That would cause second guessing of the FOMC, cast into doubt whether the FOMC was actually making the policy decision or whether the GAO was making policy decisions in monetary policy, and make it more difficult for the monetary policy to be done effectively by the Federal Reserve.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Now yield 5 minutes to the Vice Chairman, Mr. Jones from North Carolina.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much, and I appreciate you holding these hearings, as others have said. And you know, I'm going to take a little different approach. I represent the 3rd District of Eastern North Carolina. It's a great district to represent, the home of Camp Lejeune Marine Base, Cherry Point Marine Air Station, the Outer Banks. And the frustration of the average business person down in my district is very deep and severe. And we have had numerous inquiries from the 3rd District, the citizens of the 3rd District, about the Federal Reserve and how decisions are made. And I know you cannot go into some of the backroom negotiations at the Reserve. I'm not even asking that. But how do you say to the small business owner that, in this crisis situation, we've seen